Hello, my gorgeous gastronomes. Welcome to T-Rex Steel City Mukbang. Where will this food journey take you today? Pull up a seat. Let's eat. Hey, gang, how are you? What's happening, guys? What's happening? Orange mimosa, sparkling water. As always. Today we're having a little bit of a repeat with some pigtails added. So we're having pigtails, oxtails, some Caribbean rice and peas, and some asparagus. Yeah, you know I'm not wasting food, as I always tell you. So I figured I would throw in those oxtails from the other day with some pigtails. I have never had a pigtail. So this is kind of like a little food review for me also, because I've never had a pigtail in my life. To my subscribers, let's get to you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. For those of you who have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. All right, let's get it in. Kind of hungry today, guys. Okay, so here goes. I noticed that there is a lot more meat on these pigtails than there is on pig ears or feet. It's almost like pulled pork. Yeah. It's almost like pulled pork. See that? They're good. They are really good. And of course, here's our oxtails. So, as I promised you, we're going to continue our Cabbie Chronicles today. I have two short stories, so I'm just going to put them together. So my first story I'm sitting downtown at the William Penn Hotel. I don't think it is called that anymore. I think it may be the Omni now. The Omni William Penn. I don't even know. Haven't been down there in a while. But I was sitting there on the feeder line. And this is back when the movie Striking Distance by Bruce Willis was being filmed in Pittsburgh. So I'm sitting there on the William Penn feeder line, just waiting to pick up some hotel trips. These three guys come out, and they all jump in the back of my cab. They said they wanted to go to a really famous restaurant in Homestead, PA. Not too far from downtown, maybe 20 minutes. Unfortunately, this good restaurant, famous restaurant, is no longer there. Today, it's no longer there. It was there then. So they get in and they say, we're going to Chiodo's. And I said, okay. I start driving. And the guys, they're talking amongst each other. And to me, it sounds like they're discussing a movie. Like they might be directors or something, because the one guy kept saying, you know, yeah, we could have the boats take off from here and have the body wash up on the other side, and we'll get the cameraman to do this or that, and whatever, you know, just movie talk, behind the scenes movie talk. And we drive and drive. Now, mind you, at the time, I had longer hair, like maybe down to here, that I wore in a relaxed style. Okay, so believe me, this all ties in. So I kept looking in the rearview mirror because the one guy looked so familiar to me. Even though he had on a baseball cap, glasses, and he had a lot of stubble on his face. But I'm thinking, he looks so familiar. And I kept looking in the rearview mirror. I kept looking back at him. It's like, why does he look so familiar to me? And halfway there, I'm thinking, goodness, he really looks like Bruce Willis. He really does, but you know, with the stubble and the glasses and the baseball cap pulled down, it's hard to tell. So once we get to the restaurant, now meanwhile, they haven't really said anything to me. They're just talking to each other. Get to the restaurant. The two guys on the end, each side, get out. The guy in the middle, he's digging in his pockets. Pay me. Pulls out his wallet. He says, did anybody ever tell you you look like Oprah Winfrey? And I looked over my shoulder. I said, did anyone ever tell you you look like Bruce Willis? And he pulls down his sunglasses and he goes, I am Bruce Willis. I just about lost it because it really was him. I freaked out. But I was the type of driver that if I got someone famous, you know, whether it was a sports figure or whoever, singer, I always gave them their privacy in the cab because I didn't want to ask for an autograph or a picture because that's what they get all the time. Sometimes cab is their safe haven, you know. Get from point A to point B without anyone, groupies or fans, freaking out, asking for a picture or an autograph. So he smiled, that Bruce Willis smile. And he got out of the cab, and I just kind of waved, and I just kept watching him walk into the restaurant. But that was one of the happiest moments of my cab driving career. I met Bruce Willis. It was awesome. Next, story. Takes place from the airport. Now this involves a lookalike. Not the real person. This is just a lookalike. I had gone to work this day at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was a snowy day. I mean, we had like blizzards coming through all day. So I had spent a lot of time at the airport because, you know, the flights can't land and all of that with the snow coming and just whiteout conditions. It was terrible. It was terrible weather. We probably had about 6 to 8 inches of snow on the ground. So by now, it's 11 o'clock at night. I've been out since 4 a.m. Long day. So I'm first in line at the airport, and all I want is to get this one trip. Just give me this one trip, and I am going home because I am tired. It's hard driving in the snow for that many hours, you know? So I'm sitting there first in line. Now, whenever the planes can't fly, they will usually give passengers vouchers to take them on longer trips, like wherever their connecting flight won't go. So I get this guy, comes out, no coat, as cold and snowy as it is. He has no coat, he has no luggage. So that makes me kind of suspicious, and I'm thinking, well, maybe, you know, maybe his baggage got caught up or something in there. He gets in the cab, and this guy looked like he could have been Mike Tyson's twin brother. The only difference was he was short. You know, he might have been 5'4", if that. He was very short, but stocky and built. And he looked like a mini Mike Tyson. So I'm looking at him and thinking, maybe Mike Tyson is shorter than I thought. But no, it wasn't Mike Tyson. So he gets in the cab. He says, I wasn't able to get my flight to Dallas No, I'm sorry. He said he just flew in from Dallas and he wasn't able to get his flight to where he was going now. And I said, "You're going where?" Now remember, this is the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania airport. He says, "I'm going to Dale City, Virginia." I'm like, "What?" He says, "I need to get to Dale City, Virginia." He was a strange guy, okay? He said, "I'm going there to marry my Carol Ann Marie. Came from Dallas, and she's waiting for me. We're going to get married. I missed her so much, and I just love her, and I got to get to Dale City, Virginia." So I'm thinking, I've never even heard of Dale City, Virginia. I have no clue where that is or how far it is. I said, "You know what? I think that's a lot of money. Did the airport give you a voucher or something?" "Nope. No voucher. I just gotta go. I gotta see my Carol Ann Marie." He called this lady's name 5,000 times, I'm telling you. Carol Ann Marie, Carol Ann Marie. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. I said, "Let me call the dispatcher, find out how much it is, how far it is, and I'll let you know." So I get the dispatcher on the radio. "So how much is it to Dale City, Virginia?" "And how far is it?" Dispatcher says, "It's just past D.C. and you're looking at $700. I look at the guy and says, "See, I told you it was going to be a lot of money." He said, "How much is it?" I said, $700. He's like, "Okay." Now the adrenaline is pumping. I am no longer sleepy. Adrenaline's flowing through me really fast. I said, "Well, I said, I'm going to need some money up front. I can't just take you." He was like, "How much do you need?" So in my mind, I'm thinking, what would be a satisfactory amount to get now in case he skips out on me on the rest? I said, $500. Reaches in his pocket. He has a wad of money like this. Kid you not. He doesn't look like a guy that would have had $10. He's got a wad of money like this. And he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 $100 bills. Hands it to me. I'm like, okay. Here we go. We didn't have GPS then. This was back in the 90s. We did not have GPS. So I pull out a map book before I get on the road. I pull out a map book. And I kind of, in my mind, map out the main highway to get me there. So got the directions in my head. He's leaning over the seat. He would not sit back. He's leaning over the seat, talking to me about this woman. He never shut up. The entire way, he talked about Carol Ann Marie. How much he loved her and how they were getting married. how long he hadn't seen her and how much he couldn't wait to see her. He just kept going on and on and on. 5-hour drive. He never stopped talking about her. So finally we get to Dale City, Virginia. Some 5 hours later. He has me drop him off at a convenience store. He still owes me $200. He reaches back in his pocket. He hands me $200 and 70 more as a tip. $770. By now, I had been up and awake a little over 24 hours. No sleep. What do I do? Turn right around and drive all the way back to Pittsburgh. Non-stop. With $770 in my pocket. On top of what I had made all day long. I think that was probably my best day ever driving a cab as far as money wise, because we got paid in cash by each passenger. We were independent contractors. So I leased the cab. All I had to do was pay them for the lease. Whatever I made over top of that was mine. I think that day, because of the snow and the long trip vouchers and things like that, I think I made close to $1,800 that day. $1,800 in a day. Best day ever driving a cab. I don't know if he ever found Carol Ann Marie. I hope so. I hope she was real. Because, like I said, he was kind of strange. He really was, but he had that money. When I got back to Pittsburgh, it was about 9:30 in the morning. Next morning, I stopped and grabbed some breakfast, and I went straight home and went straight to bed. I didn't go back to work for like, not the next morning, but the next morning. So it was like I took a whole day off the next day, because we could just do that. We could do whatever we wanted to do as long as we paid that lease for that cab. Except smoke weed at the airport. Yeah. But one of my best days and one of my best moments, meeting Bruce Willis, and the best trip I ever had while driving a cab. It was such a fun job. Could be stressful sometimes because so much competition. You know, we competed with airport buses, we competed with limousines, we competed with other cab companies. I don't know what I would have done if Uber and Lyft was around at that time. Well, it made it really hard. But the only reason I gave it up was because after 9/11, we went through about a year and a half of a really bad dry spell at the airport. And like I said before, that's where we made most of our money. So I couldn't make it any longer in that year and a half. You know, I'm like, oh, what if it stays this way? So I just started looking for another job. That was in 2003 when I decided, okay, I'm going to have to give it up. And that's when I got into pharmacy. But those were some good times. Really good times. And these pigtails are really good. I should have tried these a long time ago. They have a lot of little bones, but still good. Well, gang, I hope you enjoyed that cab story. Peace out, gastronomes. I will see you soon.